Tale Watchene Conserva O.
Now that's always been an interesting quote, and Josh Sawyer himself said he was never going to reveal what it meant. But, since people are obsessed about Fallout, we know what it means. It seems to be a mixture of Spanish, German, Shoshone, and a little bit of morphed English. It shows how all of these languages merged together over the years in the area Joshua Graham is from. That's why he was a translator for Caesar. But it directly translates to one of two things. As God is my witness, none of you will be spared. And God watches you, but will not save you. Pretty fitting quote for the man, don't you think? Now, I've said in the past that the 10mm pistol in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas was based on a Desert Eagle. And a lot of people thought I meant the cartridge. No, the 10mm pistol, it uses 10mm. The Desert Eagle is 50 AE. I was mostly talking about, and only really talking about, the design of the firearm when I said that. Pretty much the entire back end of the 10mm pistol is just a Desert Eagle. And the front end of it is just a bunch of stuff tacked onto a Desert Eagle, right? So that's just something to keep in mind when I said that. That's all. Did you know the texture for the Bowie knife found in Lonesome Road is actually the wrong texture? The one that's supposed to be on the basic Bowie knife is never actually used in-game. Instead, the texture you get on the Bowie knives is the one for the unique Bowie knife, Bloodnap, that can be found on the Courier's Mile. Now this is an old but good one. Did you know in Fallout 3 if you sneak, walk up to a Brahmin, and then use the activate button, you can just push him over? That's it. Mind you, it's a take on cow tipping, an old pastime from the countryside, if you will. But yeah, no, just a nice, short, simple little thing that a lot of people knew you could do. Here's how to get power armor early in Fallout 3. Head to the Citadel, head straight to the right here, up to these collapsed buildings, put auto walk on, hammer quick save quick load, you'll pop through. Look in the same spot I'm looking. Jump up onto the concrete footer here for this elevated track. Takes a little doing, but usually point between the Y there, quick save quick load, with auto walk on. You'll pop through. Be fairly easy. Swing out and around it, over to behind this building, quick save quick load. You'll get the hang of it here. You'll pop through the geometry, nice and easy to do. After you get through the second one here, it's pretty much a straight shot straight to the front door of the Citadel. Go in, activate it from behind, run inside, go talk to Lyons to get permission for power armor training. Head outside to the gunny, have him teach you how to use power armor. You can also grab a free set inside too if you need it. There you go, power armor straight away. Did you know psychers in Fallout technically just use magic, right? There are eldritch horrors in the Fallout games, from the Dunwich buildings to copies of like the Necronomicon and stuff like that floating around. Some of the strange and mystical things that have happened have pretty much given people psychic abilities. I say psychic loosely. Some can just shoot fire from their hands. Others can read minds and tell the future, like the Forecaster in Fallout New Vegas, or Mama Murphy. The Master, on the other hand, technically assimilated a few psychers, and that's how he gained his psychic abilities. There are even a few psychers in the cathedral with him, well, under the cathedral, with the Master there. They wear psychic nullifiers just like the Forecaster does in Fallout New Vegas. A nice quick simple one here for today. Did you know the design of the nuke that you find in the center of Megaton is actually just a Fat Man nuke from back in the day? I'm fairly sure they used different designs and stuff for the nukes that actually fell in the Fallout universe, but they specifically wanted that one just to look like the Fat Man nuke that was dropped by the United States back in the day. That's all. Did you know the Followers Outpost, not too far from the 188, is actually a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside? Now this is just entirely due to it being a load cell error, right? Someone made the interior before they knew what the exterior was going to be, and as such you end up with the inside of a fairly large shack instead of just a small Firewatch Tower. Now, we know these towers do have interior cells that are used for them because this is the same type of tower that you can find in Old World Blues that Elijah was experimenting on bomb collars in. Did you know in the newer Fallout tabletop RPG, there's a giant centipede that for some reason understands American Sign Language? The children of Adam taught this thing sign language so that they could give it orders in battle without people talking over them. Problem is, it takes orders from anyone that uses American Sign Language, so not really the best outcome there. Did you know if you kill Moriarty in Fallout 3 in Megaton, Gob takes over the saloon? Nice, simple little Easter egg there. Even changes the sign. Fallout New Vegas hides wild details in its skill magazines. Boxing Times, for instance. The fighter on the cover is Calvin Nelson, the pre-war Red Brick Kid. Fixing things in future weapons today actually have different colors dependent on if you're seeing it in-game or if you're seeing it in a load screen. And Lad's Life is pretty much just a direct parody of the real-life magazine, A Boy's Life. New Vegas artists went hard on these tiny details most players will never notice. The FEV didn't start as a super soldier program. It began when scientists tried to cure the new plague using samples from X-001. They exposed viruses to this cosmic thing, hoping to make people immune to the new plague. Instead, they got the first ghouls and first super mutants. The cure didn't fail, though. It simply mutated. When the federal government was gone, who was left to pick up the pieces? Mayors, sheriffs, local militias, and Sioux. Some tried to help, but others became the first warlords of the wasteland. The first raiders weren't sadists. They were just people trying to feed their families. People think the marked men are just ghouls burned by nukes. But the real horror? When the nukes hit the divide, the sand turned into irradiated glass. The storm literally flays anything caught in it. And the radiation keeps them from dying. That's why they look like, well, skinless people running around. The Legion wasn't planned. It was an accident. Edward Sallow, Bill Calhoun, and Joshua Graham tried to help a tribe, and that tribe almost killed them. They survived by helping that tribe fight its enemies. And suddenly they were in charge. Sallow liked the power and took the name Caesar, and the history of the wasteland was changed forever. So first, head into the Brotherhood's outcast base, turn left, head up the stairs, hallway at the end of the staircase, head down to the end of it, wedge yourself into the left-hand corner, quick save, quick load, till you pop through the wall. Orient yourself so you don't go falling off the damn platform here. Head over toward the red computer, kneel down right where the two rooms meet. You'll be able to see into it. Drop a couple pieces of armor, just something to wedge yourself in there good, to help push you through the geometry of the wall. Well, ceiling in this case. Look down, quick save, quick load. You will pop through it. Good to go. Pick up the power armor, pick up the stealth suit, gauze rifle, shock sword, whatever you want. When it comes time to leave, go back to the door, wedge yourself into the left-hand side, look directly at the seam. Quick save, quick load. You'll pop straight through the map, zero out in this map, which is by the VR system, and you're good to go. Did you know, buried under the glowing sea in Massachusetts, in Fallout 4, not technically in Fallout 4, but in the area, there's a city simply known as the Buried City. Some also call it the City of Adam. This place apparently predates human life as we know it, and it seems to be made by the same individuals that made the Dunwich Obelisk in Fallout 3. One of the most unique things in this cavern are the tentacles that protect the obelisk at the center of it. unlike the ones carved of stone in the Fallout 3 one, these ones are alive and actually protect the thing, searching the cavern for things it can apprehend. Why does every NCR trooper carry a kitchen knife instead of a combat knife? Well, it's pretty simple. Military knife factories were prime targets during the Great War for bombings, as military infrastructure was. Kitchen knife factories weren't. So the NCR standard melee weapon is literally whatever cutlery survived the apocalypse. After Hoover Dam, the Legion was broken, morale was dead, and the one man who terrified the NCR, Joshua Graham, had been burned alive and erased from history. Then suddenly a new warlord appears from the front. Face hidden, voice full of gravel, unkillable, brutal. Caesar didn't have to say it. The Legion filled in the blanks. Then Joshua Graham, the mal-paced legate, had returned to the Legion. But he hadn't. Lanius wasn't a person. He was simply a replacement myth for that man. To the Legion, Lanius was a myth made flesh, an unstoppable conqueror reborn through fire and steel. But to Caesar, he was disposable, a mask, a symbol, a weapon you could hand to the next loyal killer. Because men die, but myths never do. That's the secret. Lanius wasn't a person, he was a mask. Now, Melchior the Magnificent is a very unique super mutant in every sense of the word. He could take and control mutations of animals that he would toss into the FEV. Borderline psyker with his abilities to control them after he had already rapidly mutated them. He would have been extremely dangerous. Well, he is extremely dangerous since he can make death claws quickly, but even more so, his control over the mutants that he makes. If the FEV had not lessened his intelligence to the extent it had, he could have been, well, what Master always wanted to be. To create, control, and use mutations as he saw fit. Bottle caps run the wasteland, even within the NCR. Why? Because the NCR can't manufacture secure currency. Reason being, they seem to use pre-war US dollars and money to then print NCR currency on top of. So that means anyone with a printer and pre-war money could make NCR currency if they felt the need to counterfeit it. Bottle caps, on the other hand, it's been commonplace for quite some time that any bottle cap press come across would either be confiscated by the people that make currencies or destroyed on the spot. That's why the bottle cap has remained a secure currency, while the NCR's money has not. If you don't think something like that could have happened, it's what happened during the to the South during the Civil War. Just look it up. There's a whole to-do about it. Did you know that the M&A 9mm pistol from Fallout New Vegas is just the Browning High Power, developed by John Moses Browning over 100 years ago? It's the gun he helped design after the 1911. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only 30 minutes to prep in Lonesome Road? Find out by clicking the link in the description of the video. If you ever wanted to know if you could beat Fallout New Vegas with only 10 shots, I made a video on it. Links in the description. Did you know the settlement of Novak in Fallout New Vegas gets its name from the busted no vacancy sign sitting outside? Did you know that Nuka-Cola had 120% of the daily recommended intake of sugar any single person was supposed to ever have? On top of that, some variations of Nuka-Cola there had non-soluble sugar flakes in it. That'd be Nuka-Cola quartz, or just, radioactive isotopes that technically pass through the human body in Nuka-Cola Quantum, which is why some people, when they drink Nuka-Cola Quantum, would have glowing piss, which is kind of funny. Did you know in Fallout 3 there's a set of power armor that anyone is supposed to be able to use without power armor training. It's called the Medic Power Armor. In-game, mind you, all it actually does is yell at you and give you medics. I guess they couldn't figure a way to make power armor not need power armor training, so that's interesting. Mind you, this set of unique power armor is found in the old Alney sewer in Fallout 3. And yes, I know the photos from Fallout 4, but I'm using that because this power armor is TU-45 and it has the US stars and bars on the shoulder. Only power armor in Fallout 3 to have that marking. Also has no helmet, which is weird. Did you know in New Vegas you can glitch the game so you could shoot mini nukes out of anything? Here's Red Glare, an energy rocket launcher, shooting tiny tots mini nukes. Has, like, no accuracy, mind you. But the amount of damage you could output with this thing is crazy. In the Courier's Mile, stabbed into a lamppost, his blood nap, the unique Bowie knife of the DLC, has better crits, better damage, higher DPS, and costs less AP to use. Also, from what I can find, I guess the name is a play on words of someone taking a dirt nap, being in a grave. I always thought that it was a play on word, not even really a play on words, that it was more related to nap at, which is a term used to mean cut something, like to nap at the meat and whatnot. Could just be because I come from a family of hunters. I have no idea. But I always thought blood nap was, to use a bloodied knife to skin something. Anyway, thanks for watching. Everyone thinks the 10mm pistol in Fallout was just standard pre-war handgun. But lore-wise, it wasn't. The 10mm pistol was originally designed as a power armor sidearm. Big frame, heavy recoil, massive stopping power. Basically, a Desert Eagle with extra tech bolted onto it. It only later became the military's go-to sidearm because it was so cheap and easy to mass produce. I'm mostly speaking on the revolver-style 10mm pistols seen in the earlier games being sidearms for power armor. After all, why would a normal person need a foregrip on a goddamn handgun? Did you know the Stim Pack is a civilian version of a piece of pre-war military tech? It's a nice, simple, compact design that almost anyone could keep on themselves in case of emergency, right? Can heal almost anything. Well, the military knew this, and they used a much larger version of it that they just called health dispensers. At least that's what they're called in Operation Anchorage, the VR simulation. But why wouldn't you have a large pressurized stim pack that you could just jab into a soldier that's down and then heal them up, right? They're made by a company known as Lee Rapid Pharmaceuticals, and they have the same type of delivery method as a normal stim pack. They most likely also came up with stim packs, too.